Overthinking again. Can't stop your thoughts. You replay the same stuff again and again. It's exhausting, right? But what if you could stop the noise in your head and in your English? In my new video, I'll show you 3 simple tricks to calm your mind and speak more clearly in English. Want more peace and better English? Watch how to stop overthinking only on Native Explorer. Think less, speak better. Native Explorer. Hello and welcome to another effective and motivational episode here at Native Explorer, the place where you can improve your English while learning useful life skills. I'm really happy to be here with you today. Thank you for joining me. Whether you're listening at home, in the car, or on a walk, I want you to feel relaxed, focused, and ready to learn something that can truly help you in your daily life. Remember, your English journey is just like coding. One line, one word, and one step at a time. Keep learning, and step by step, you will see great progress. This podcast is made for English learners just like you. I speak slowly and clearly, and I use simple words and easy grammar so that you can listen and understand without stress. You can use this time to practice your listening, improve your vocabulary, and maybe even repeat some parts to practice your speaking. So let's grow together, not just in English, but in life too. Now let's talk about today's topic: overthinking and how to stop it. This is something many of us deal with every day, even if we don't notice it. Overthinking means thinking too much. You think and think and think again and again, but you don't find a solution. Your mind keeps going in circles. You may think about something that happened yesterday or something that might happen tomorrow. You worry too much, and it can make you tired, sad, or even afraid to take action. Overthinking is a big problem for many people around the world. It can make you feel stuck. It can stop you from doing things that are important. For example, maybe you want to speak English, but you keep thinking, what if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me? These thoughts can stop you from trying. That's what overthinking does. It makes you afraid to move forward. In this episode, we are going to talk about how to stop overthinking. You will learn what overthinking really means, why people do it, and what you can do to stop it. I will give you simple and useful tips that you can use every day. I will also share a short story to help you understand better. My goal is to help you feel more calm, more confident, and more in control of your thoughts. So, if you are ready, let's begin this journey together. Get comfortable, take a deep breath, and let's learn how to stop overthinking step by step and word by word right here on Native Explorer. So, what exactly is overthinking? Overthinking means thinking too much about something. It is when your mind keeps repeating the same thoughts again and again. You don't just think, you think too much. Sometimes you think about a small problem, but it feels very big because you can't stop thinking about it. Overthinking can make things feel worse than they really are. You try to solve the problem in your head, but you only end up feeling more confused or more tired. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you said something in class or in a meeting. After you speak, you start thinking, did I say the right thing? Did I sound stupid? What if others are laughing at me now? You keep thinking about that moment again and again for hours or even days. That's overthinking. The event is already over, but your brain is still busy thinking about it. Overthinking doesn't always happen in the past. Sometimes we overthink about the future, too. For example, imagine you have a job interview or an English speaking test tomorrow. You start thinking, what if I forget everything? What if I don't understand the questions? What if I fail? These thoughts don't help. They only make you more nervous. You are thinking too much, and it becomes hard to stay calm or focus. Overthinking can happen in many situations. At school, you might overthink about exams or homework. You worry about getting the best grade or making a mistake. At work, you might overthink about a task your boss gave you. You keep checking your work again and again, afraid to send it. You think, is it good enough? What if they don't like it? In relationships, overthinking can make things difficult. For example, maybe your friend didn't reply to your message. You start thinking, did I do something wrong? Are they angry at me? Sometimes they are just busy. But your brain starts building many scary ideas. When you overthink, you don't feel good. You feel tired, confused, and sometimes even scared. Your brain feels heavy. It's like you are running in a circle and can't stop. You want to relax, but your mind keeps working like a machine that never stops. You feel stuck. It becomes hard to make a decision because you are thinking too much. You start asking yourself too many what-if questions. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if I make the wrong choice? This happens to many people, students, workers, parents, even teachers. Overthinking is not something only you feel. It's a very common problem. But here's the important thing. Even if it is common, it is not helpful. It does not solve your problems. It only makes you more worried. Think of your brain like a smartphone. When you open too many apps at the same time, the phone becomes slow, right? It freezes. It needs to rest or reset. Your brain is the same. When you think too much, your mental energy becomes low. You feel slow, tired, and stressed. Overthinking uses a lot of your brain power, but it doesn't give you any good result. It's like running on a treadmill. You keep moving, but you don't go anywhere. Overthinking can have a big impact on life. When someone overthinks, they spend too much time focusing on their worries, doubts, and fears. This can make simple decisions feel difficult and can lead to stress and anxiety. Overthinking often keeps people stuck in the past or the future, making it hard to enjoy the present moment. In daily life, overthinking can affect many things. For example, in relationships, overthinking might cause someone to worry if they said the right thing or if the other person is upset. This can lead to misunderstandings and unnecessary arguments. In work or school, overthinking can stop a person from taking action. They might worry about making mistakes, so they delay starting tasks or avoid making decisions. Overthinking also affects a person's mental and physical health. It can lead to sleepless nights because the mind is too busy. It can also cause tension in the body, making someone feel physically exhausted. The constant stress from overthinking can lower a person's confidence and make them feel overwhelmed. The key to stopping overthinking is learning to focus on the present and take things one step at a time. By recognizing when overthinking is taking control, a person can start to change their thinking patterns and live a more peaceful, balanced life. Now, I want you to think for a moment. Do you sometimes feel this way? Do you think about the same problem again and again? Do you feel afraid to take action because you're not sure what will happen? If yes, then you are not alone. Many people feel this. The good news is you can learn how to stop it. And the first step is understanding what overthinking really is and how it makes you feel. So now that we know what overthinking means, how it looks in everyday life, and how it feels inside our minds, it's time to ask another important question. Why do we overthink? Why does this happen so often? That's what we will explore in the next part of our episode. But for now, just remember, overthinking is when we think too much and it makes us feel worried, stuck, and tired. It's not your fault, and you can learn how to stop it step by step. Now that we know what overthinking is, let's talk about why people overthink. Why do we think too much even when we don't want to? The truth is, there are many reasons, and most of them come from inside us, from our fears, our habits, and our past experiences. One big reason is the fear of failure. Many people are afraid of making mistakes. They want to do everything right, and they don't want to fail. So they think again and again before they make a decision. For example, imagine a student who has to give a short presentation in English class. Instead of preparing and practicing, the student keeps thinking, what if I forget my words? What if people laugh at me? What if I fail in front of everyone? These thoughts don't help the student prepare. They only make them more nervous. This fear of failure can stop people from trying new things or taking important steps in life. Another reason is lack of confidence. When we don't believe in ourselves, we think too much. We feel unsure. We don't trust our own choices. So we keep asking, am I doing the right thing? Should I say this? Should I do that? For example, imagine someone is writing an email to their boss. They finish it, but then they start reading it again and again. They change words, rewrite sentences, and check it 5 times before clicking send. Why? Because they are not confident. They are afraid of doing something wrong. Overthinking is a way to avoid making a mistake, but it often makes life more difficult. Many people also overthink because they want to be perfect. Perfection sounds like a good thing, but it can be a big problem. When you want everything to be perfect, you never feel happy with your work. You always feel something is missing or wrong. For example, let's say a young artist is drawing a picture. The drawing looks nice, but the artist is not happy. They keep changing small things again and again. They are never satisfied. This is overthinking caused by the need to be perfect. In real life, nothing is perfect, and that's okay. Trying to be perfect only brings more stress. Another very common reason is worrying about the future. Many people are afraid of things that haven't happened yet. They think too much about what might happen. For example, imagine a woman who wants to apply for a new job. She doesn't know if she will get it. She starts thinking, what if I don't pass the interview? What if I get the job, but I don't like it? What if I fail? These thoughts make her feel afraid. So she does nothing. She doesn't even apply. Overthinking has stopped her before she even tried. All these causes, fear of failure, low confidence, trying to be perfect, and fear of the future, are very common. We all feel them sometimes. You might have felt one of them today or this week. These thoughts come from a good place. We want to do well. We want to be safe. But they don't help us grow. Overthinking keeps us in one place. It holds us back. But the good news is this. Once we understand why we overthink, we can learn how to stop it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take small steps forward, even when your mind is full of questions. In the next part of this podcast, we will talk about simple and powerful ways to stop overthinking and take action. Now, let's talk about something very important: how overthinking affects your life. You already know what overthinking is and why it happens. But have you ever thought about what it really does to you, your body, and your daily life? You may not see it at first, but overthinking can hurt you in many ways. First, overthinking makes you feel tired. Your body might not be working hard, but your mind is. When you keep thinking again and again about the same thing, your brain gets tired. It's like a machine running all day without rest. Have you ever gone to bed but couldn't sleep because your mind was still full of thoughts? You felt tired, but you just couldn't relax. That's the power of overthinking. It takes your energy and gives you nothing back. Overthinking also makes you feel sad or anxious. When you think too much, your brain often focuses on the negative things. You start thinking about everything that could go wrong. You imagine the worst results. And even if nothing bad has happened yet, you already feel worried. For example, maybe someone you know didn't reply to your message. You begin to wonder, did I do something wrong? Are they angry? Are they ignoring me? These thoughts make you feel upset even if there is no real problem. Maybe they are just busy. But overthinking makes the situation feel worse. A person who is overthinking often shows signs in both their mind and their body. Mentally, they can't stop thinking about the same things over and over. They might keep worrying about something that happened or something that might happen. For example, they could think about a conversation they had, wondering if they said something wrong or if the other person is upset. Physically, overthinking can cause stress in the body. A person who overthinks may feel tense in their shoulders or neck. They might get headaches or stomach aches because their mind is always busy with worry. These thoughts can make it hard for them to relax or sleep. They might lie in bed thinking about everything and find it hard to fall asleep. Overthinkers also have trouble making decisions. They can spend a lot of time thinking about small choices like what to wear or what to eat and still feel unsure. They may ask others for advice but still feel worried. Sometimes they avoid social situations because they fear saying something wrong or being judged. Overthinking can make them feel stuck and unable to move forward or enjoy the moment. It also stops you from doing things. Yes, overthinking can block your actions. You think so much that you don't move. You don't take a step. For example, let's say you want to speak in your English class, but you're not sure if your answer is correct. You start thinking, what if I'm wrong? What if people laugh? You want to speak, but in the end, you stay quiet. Has that ever happened to you? Or maybe you wanted to call someone, but you kept thinking about what to say, and in the end, you didn't call at all. Overthinking can steal many chances from you, small and big. Have you ever had a great idea, but you didn't do anything because you were unsure? Or have you waited too long to answer a message and then felt too awkward to reply? These are small examples, but they show how overthinking can make life harder. It can make you miss opportunities. It can stop your progress. It can even affect your relationships with other people. Another effect is that overthinking makes you less confident over time. When you don't act and you only think, you start to doubt yourself more and more. You begin to believe that you are not good enough or that something bad will always happen. But is that really true? Or is it just your mind playing tricks? So let me ask you, how many times did you stop yourself from doing something because you were thinking too much? How many chances did you miss? How often do you feel tired, stressed, or confused because your thoughts just won't stop? These are hard questions, but they are important because the truth is overthinking doesn't protect you. It doesn't help you. It only makes your life more difficult. It takes away your peace. It makes you feel stuck, like you're walking in a circle. But don't worry, you can break this cycle. And in the next part of this podcast, we'll look at some simple and powerful tips to help you stop overthinking and feel more calm, focused, and free in your mind. Now that we understand how overthinking affects us, it's time to talk about how to stop it. Don't worry, it's easier than you think. Overthinking is a habit, and like any habit, you can change it. Here are 5 simple tips that can help you stop overthinking and live with more peace in your mind. The first tip is very important. Focus on the present moment. Overthinking usually happens when we think about the past or the future. We worry about things that happened before or things that might happen later. But what we forget is that the only moment we can control is right now. For example, if you're at school and you start overthinking about a test tomorrow, stop. Focus on what you're doing at that moment. Maybe you're listening to a lesson or talking with a friend. Take a deep breath and bring your mind back to the present. Ask yourself, what can I do right now? When you focus on the present, your mind becomes calmer. Remember, right now is all I need to focus on. Let's take a small pause here. Think about what you're doing right now. Are you listening carefully, or is your mind wandering? If it's wandering, just bring it back to the present. Focus on the here and now. The second tip is to write down your thoughts. When your mind is full of worries or ideas, it can feel like a mess. But when you write everything down, it helps you clear your mind. You can see what's important and what's not. This simple trick will help you organize your thoughts and stop them from controlling you. For example, if you're thinking about a decision, write it down. Ask yourself questions like, why am I worried? What is the worst that could happen? Writing helps you understand your thoughts and see things more clearly. Remember, writing down clears my mind. When you write, you stop overthinking and start taking control of your thoughts. Let's pause for a moment. Try this now. Take a few seconds and write down something that's on your mind. What are you worried about? What is making you overthink? See how writing it down helps organize your thoughts. The third tip is, take action, even if it's a small step. When we overthink, we often get stuck. We think and think but never do anything. The key is to start moving, even with small steps. Small actions can break the cycle of overthinking and build your confidence. For example, if you're worried about a big project at work or school, don't wait until everything is perfect. Start with a small task. It could be something simple like writing an outline, doing some research, or organizing your notes. Once you start, you'll feel better. Remember, even small steps move me forward. Taking action is the best way to stop overthinking. Now, let's take another pause. Think about something you've been putting off because you're overthinking. What small step can you take today? Maybe it's just opening your notebook or writing the first line of an email. Start now, no matter how small. The fourth tip is to talk to someone. Sometimes we overthink because we keep everything inside. When you talk to someone you trust, it can help you see things in a new way. Talking about your thoughts can release the pressure and make everything feel lighter. For example, if you're unsure about an important decision, talk to a friend or family member. They might not have the answers, but they can help you think more clearly. Sometimes just talking helps you realize that your worries aren't as big as they seem. Remember, talking helps me see things clearly. You don't need to solve everything alone. Sharing your thoughts can stop you from overthinking. Let's pause again. Think about someone you can talk to. Is there a friend or family member who can help you with your worries? Call or message them today. Talking really helps. The final tip is to stop trying to be perfect. Perfectionism is one of the biggest reasons we overthink. We want everything to be just right. But the truth is, nothing is perfect. And that's okay. When we stop chasing perfection, we free ourselves from the pressure of overthinking. For example, imagine you're working on an English essay. You keep reading it again and again, changing small things, but it's never perfect enough. Instead of making everything perfect, just focus on finishing the task. You can always improve later. Remember, done is better than perfect. You don't have to make everything perfect. Taking action is more important than getting stuck in your head. Let's take one last pause. Think about something you've been trying to make perfect. How can you focus on getting it done instead of making it perfect? Can you finish it today? Remember, progress is more important than perfection. These are 5 simple tips that can help you stop overthinking. Focus on the present. Write down your thoughts. Take small actions. Talk to someone. And stop trying to be perfect. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one tip and practice it every day. Slowly, you'll notice that overthinking loses its power over you. Let me share a short story about someone who used the tips we talked about to stop overthinking. This is a story about a young woman named Anna. Anna had always been an overthinker. Whether it was about school, work, or her relationships, she would spend hours thinking about what could go wrong, what she should say, and if she was making the right choices. It was exhausting, and it was starting to affect her happiness. One day, Anna was preparing for an important job interview. She had applied for a position at a marketing company, and she really wanted this job. But instead of focusing on the interview itself, Anna spent the whole night before it thinking about every possible thing that could go wrong. What if I don't know the answers? What if I forget what to say? What if they don't like me? The thoughts kept racing through her mind, and by the time she woke up, she was tired, stressed, and feeling very anxious. Anna knew she needed to stop this cycle, but she wasn't sure how. Then, she remembered some of the tips we've discussed in this podcast. She decided to give them a try. First, Anna focused on the present moment. Instead of letting her mind jump to the interview and imagining all the things that could go wrong, she decided to focus on what she could control right now. She took a few deep breaths and reminded herself, "Right now, I'm just preparing. That's all I need to do." She didn't think about what might happen later. She focused on practicing answers to common interview questions and reading up on the company. By staying present, she felt more calm and ready. Next, Anna decided to write down her thoughts. She realized she was worrying too much about the what-ifs in her mind. So she grabbed a notebook and wrote everything down. "What if I forget my answers?" she wrote. "What if they don't like me?" After writing, she took a moment to reflect on each worry. She realized that most of these thoughts were based on fear, not facts. The more she wrote, the more she saw that her worries weren't as big as she had imagined. Then Anna remembered the third tip: take action. Instead of sitting there feeling overwhelmed, she decided to take small steps. She made sure she had her outfit ready for the interview, reviewed the job description, and practiced introducing herself. Even though she was nervous, she took action on the things she could control. Slowly, the action helped her stop overthinking and feel more prepared. Each small step made her feel more confident and less anxious. At one point, Anna called her best friend Sarah to talk about how she was feeling. Talking to someone was another tip she knew she needed to try. When Anna told Sarah about her worries, Sarah listened and reassured her. Sarah said, "Anna, you've prepared for this. You're going to do great. Don't worry about the little things, just be yourself." That conversation helped Anna stop overthinking. She felt supported, and she knew she wasn't alone in her worries. Finally, Anna remembered the last tip: don't try to be perfect. She had been stressing about answering every question perfectly during the interview, but she realized that trying to be perfect was causing her more stress. Instead of focusing on perfection, Anna reminded herself, "It's okay to make mistakes. I just need to do my best." This thought helped her relax and stop worrying about being flawless. When the day of the interview came, Anna felt nervous, but she didn't feel completely overwhelmed by her thoughts. She had used the tips to calm herself down and focus on what really mattered. She walked into the interview feeling confident, ready to answer questions, and most importantly, not trapped in her own mind. After the interview, Anna reflected on the whole experience. She was proud of herself. Yes, she still had some nervous moments, but she'd use the simple tips to stop overthinking and take control of her emotions. She had learned that overthinking doesn't help. It only makes things harder. By focusing on the present, taking action, talking to someone, and letting go of perfection, she had changed the way she approached stressful situations. And guess what? Anna got the job. But what mattered more was that she had learned how to stop overthinking and face challenges with confidence. Anna's story shows how these tips can really make a difference in your life. Overthinking doesn't have to control you. With simple steps like focusing on the present, writing down your worries, taking action, talking to someone, and letting go of perfection, you can stop overthinking and start living more peacefully. Just like Anna, you can take control of your thoughts and your life. Now that we've covered how overthinking affects us and the practical tips to stop it, let's quickly recap what we've learned today. These are the simple, powerful steps that can help you break the cycle of overthinking and start living more peacefully. 1. Focus on the present. Instead of worrying about what might happen in the future, bring your attention back to the moment you're in right now. Focus on what you can control. 2. Write down your thoughts. When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts, take a moment to write them down. Seeing your worries on paper helps you understand them better and put them into perspective. 3. Take action, even small steps. Don't wait for the perfect moment to take action. Taking even small steps towards your goal can help you feel more in control and reduce anxiety. 4. Talk to someone. Share your thoughts with a friend or family member. Talking about your worries can help you see them more clearly and often provides you with the support and perspective you need. 5. Don't try to be perfect. Perfection is unrealistic. Instead of aiming for perfection, focus on doing your best and learning from your mistakes. It's okay to not have everything figured out right away. Each of these tips is simple, but they can make a huge difference in how we deal with overthinking. The key takeaway is that overthinking doesn't help. In fact, it only makes things harder. The more we focus on the present, take small actions, talk to others, and let go of perfection, the easier it becomes to manage our thoughts and reduce anxiety. Now, why is it so important to stop overthinking? Overthinking can drain your energy, create unnecessary stress, and prevent you from making decisions. It keeps you stuck in your mind, constantly worrying about things that haven't even happened yet. But when you learn to stop overthinking, you free yourself from these unnecessary worries. You gain more control over your thoughts, which allows you to live more peacefully and make clearer decisions. By using the tips we discussed today, you can stop the cycle of overthinking and start moving forward with confidence. I encourage you to try just one small step today. Maybe today you can focus on the present moment when you start to feel anxious. Or you could try writing down your thoughts when they start to feel overwhelming. You don't have to do everything at once, but taking that one small step today can help you see how powerful these simple actions can be. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast on how to stop overthinking. I hope you found it helpful and that you're feeling a little more confident in your ability to manage your thoughts. Remember, it's okay to have moments of worry or doubt. That's completely normal. The key is knowing how to manage it and not letting it take over your life. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen again whenever you need a reminder on how to stop overthinking. And if you know someone who could benefit from this podcast, please share it with them. I'd love for us to help more people learn how to live with less stress and more peace of mind. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Native Explorer. I look forward to having you join me for the next episode where we'll continue to explore practical ways to improve your English and life skills. If you enjoyed this podcast, please don't forget to subscribe to Native Explorer so you never miss an episode. If you found these tips helpful, share this podcast with friends or family who might benefit from it. You can also leave a review or comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Your support means the world to me. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Keep taking small steps towards a more peaceful mind and a clearer path. Take care and remember, you've got this.